Did you know a single Kennedy half dollar from 1972 could be worth up to 1.5 million? That's right. One small coin sitting in a box of change could completely change your life. Today, we're diving deep into the story of the 1972 D Kennedy half dollar, why collectors go crazy for it, and how you can tell if the one in your pocket might just be a $1 million treasure. After President John F. Kennedy's assassination in 1963, the nation was heartbroken. To honor him, the U.S. Mint released the Kennedy half dollar in 1964, replacing the Franklin half. The coin was incredibly popular. People hoarded them, and very few entered circulation. By the 1970s, the Kennedy half was still in production, mostly from the Denver Mint, D Mint mark. Most are only worth face value today, but a few rare mistakes slipped through. And that's where the story gets exciting. Most 1972 D Kennedy halves are only worth about 50 cents to maybe a few dollars in nice condition. However, a rare variety exists. Coins struck with the wrong reverse design. Instead of showing the correct reverse for 1972, some coins were struck using the proof reverse from 1971. This tiny difference created one of the most sought-after modern coin errors. These are so rare that when they do show up at auction, collectors are willing to pay astronomical prices. Some reports even suggest examples could be valued at over $1 million. It must have a D for Denver. Look closely at the eagle on the back. On the rare type, the G in the word FG, designer's initials, is sharply different. Coins in mint state, shiny, no wear, are worth much more than circulated ones. Check your coin jars. Check those old collections from parents or grandparents. You might be sitting on a life-changing discovery. While not every 1972 D half will sell for $1.5 million, high-grade examples of the rare variety have sold for thousands, tens of thousands, and in some cases well into six figures. Some online sources hype the $1.5 million number, but the key takeaway is these coins are incredibly valuable compared to ordinary pocket change. Even common Kennedy halves can bring premiums if they're in pristine condition, proof sets, or silver composition years, 1964 or 1965-70. Don't clean the coin! Cleaning can ruin its value. Get it authenticated. Reputable grading companies like PCGS or NGC can verify if you have the rare variety. Sell smart. Auction houses, coin shows, and serious collectors will pay the most. Don't rush to your local pawn shop. Remember, treasures like these are still out there. So before you toss that old half dollar back into circulation, take a closer look. You might be holding a piece of American history and possibly a fortune. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe for more rare coin stories and let me know in the comments what coins you found in your collection. Who knows? Your story might be the next one worth $1 million. Would you believe me if I told you that a 1976 Kennedy half dollar with a tiny D mint mark once sold for an unbelievable $1.7 million? That's right. A 50-cent piece that most people ignored could actually be worth more than a luxury home today. In today's video, I'll break down the truth about this coin, what makes some worth a fortune while most are not, and how you can check if your old coins could be hiding a life-changing treasure. Fireworks, bicentennial celebrations. 1976 was no ordinary year in the United States. It was the bicentennial year, celebrating 200 years of American independence. To mark the occasion, the U.S. Mint released special designs for the quarter, half dollar and dollar. The Kennedy half dollar from 1976 is easy to spot. Instead of the usual reverse, it shows Independence Hall in Philadelphia with the words, 200 Years of Freedom. These coins were minted in large numbers, but here's where it gets interesting. Coins with a D mint mark were struck in Denver. Coins with an S mint mark came from San Francisco, often in silver, and coins with no mint mark were from Philadelphia. So why would one of these bicentennial halves ever reach over $1 million? Let's dig deeper. The famous $1.7 million sale involved a rare minting error, a coin struck with extraordinary precision flaws that collectors crave. These one-in-a-billion mint mistakes often make headlines. Not every 1976 D. Kennedy half-dollar is worth a fortune. Most are only worth 50 cents to a few dollars in circulated condition. However, special errors, high grades, and silver proofs can change everything. Coin values in different conditions, worth around 50 cents to $2, can fetch $15 to $50. These can be worth $12 to $100 depending on grade. Double strikes, off-center strikes, or coins struck on the wrong planche. These can skyrocket to thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. The $1.7 million example was one of these once-in-a-lifetime error coins. If you've got bicentennial half-dollars at home, here's how to check if you're holding something special. Look just below Kennedy's neck for the tiny D or S. If the edge looks silver all the way through instead of copper-colored, you may have a silver version. Off-center designs, missing details, or double strikes add huge value. Professional grading by PCGS or NGC can turn a $10 coin into a 1,000 pluses coin if the grade is high enough. Avoid pawn shops. Instead, look into major coin auction houses or trusted online marketplaces. So yes, the 1976 D. Kennedy half-dollar can be worth $1.7 million, but only in the rarest of cases. For most of us, they're still fun and valuable keepsakes from America's bicentennial. But here's the key. Don't ignore that old change. Jar. The next coin you check could be hiding a fortune. If you found this video helpful, hit the like button, subscribe for more rare coin guides, and share this with someone who might have old coins sitting around. Who knows? Their 50 cents could turn into 50,000 or more. Fade out with upbeat music and text. Your change could change your life. Would you like me to also create a visual storyboard talk shot list for this script, so you know exactly what footage or images to show at each point? Did you know that a 1977 Kennedy half-dollar without a mint mark has been reported to sell for as high as $1.6 million? Yes, you heard that right. A single coin you might have in your old change jar could potentially change your life. Today, we're diving deep into the 1977 no mint mark Kennedy half-dollar, why it's rare, what makes it valuable, and how you can find out if you own one. The Kennedy half-dollar has been a staple of U.S. coinage since 1964, first issued to honor President John F. Kennedy after his tragic assassination. But while millions of these coins were made, only a handful of error coins like the 1977 no mint mark exist, and that's what makes them so special. Now, let's clear something up. Most 1977 Kennedy half-dollars are not rare. In fact, they were minted in the tens of millions. Typically, they're worth about 50 cents to a couple of dollars in circulated condition. But there's a twist. A rare error version without a mint mark has shocked collectors worldwide. Normally, coins minted in Philadelphia in 1977 did not carry a mint mark. But errors happen. Sometimes dies are misplaced, or striking issues occur. A rare no-mint mark Kennedy half-dollar in pristine condition, certified by top grading services like PCGS or NGC, can fetch astronomical prices at auction. One such 1977. No mint mark Kennedy half-dollar in top-grade condition reportedly sold for up to $1.6 million. That's life-changing money for what looks like an ordinary coin. It's usually found just above the date on the coin's front. If there's no letter like D, Denver, or S, San Francisco, you might have a Philadelphia strike. Only coins in top mint state, MS67 or higher, are worth serious money. Professional grading by PCGS or NGC is essential to prove authenticity and value. Not every no mint mark half-dollar is worth millions. Most are only worth face value, or a few dollars. The million-dollar coins are ultra-rare varieties in flawless condition. Coin collectors and investors will pay top dollar for unique, one-of-a-kind mint errors. In fact, Some Kennedy half-dollar varieties have broken price records at major auction houses. So if you've got a jar of old coins, now is the time to check them. That half-dollar from 1977 you've been ignoring could be a treasure. And even if it's not the $1.6 million version, many Kennedy half-dollars are still worth holding on to. To recap, the 1977 no-mint mark Kennedy half-dollar is one of the most fascinating era coins out there. Most are common, but in rare, pristine cases, they can be worth an absolute fortune. If you think you've got one, get it graded by a professional service before selling. Who knows? Your pocket change might just turn into your retirement fund. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about valuable coins hiding in plain sight, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. And don't forget, always check your change. Did you know that a single coin sitting in your old change jar could be worth over $1.6 million? Yes, I'm talking about the 1972 Kennedy half-dollar with no mint mark. This coin is one of the rarest modern coins ever found in circulation, and today, I'll explain how to identify it, why it's so valuable, and what you should do if you think you might have one. So, grab your old coin jars, because this could be the most valuable 10 minutes you'll spend today. To understand why the 1972 no-mint mark Kennedy half-dollar is so special, let's step back for a moment. The Kennedy half-dollar was first struck in 1964, just months after President John F. Kennedy's tragic assassination. Americans wanted a way to honor him, and the mint quickly redesigned the half-dollar to bear his portrait. For decades, these coins were produced in the millions and were commonly found in circulation. But by the early 1970s, most people were hoarding silver coins, and the half-dollar started disappearing from everyday use. Still, millions were made. And in that flood of coins, a few mistakes slipped through. That's where the legendary 1972 no-mint mark comes in. Now, here's the key. Most 1972 Kennedy half-dollars were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which at that time usually had no mint mark, or at the Denver Mint with a D mint mark. But there's an extremely rare error version where the mint mark is missing entirely when it should have been present. Only a handful of these coins have ever been discovered. And when something is that rare, collectors go wild. In fact, one of these 1972 no-mint mark Kennedy half-dollars sold at auction for a staggering $1.6 million. That's why people are checking their old coins, because even a single find could change your life. How do you know if your 1972 half-dollar is the million-dollar version? Look at the date. Obviously, the coin must say 1972. If you don't see that year, it's not the right one. Check the mint mark area. Normally, the mint mark is found just below Kennedy's neck on the obverse. That's the front side of the coin. If it has a D, it's from Denver. If it has nothing at all, then it could be from Philadelphia, which is normal. But here's where things get tricky. Compare the details. The rare version has subtle differences in design and strike compared to normal Philadelphia coins. The lettering and relief can look slightly sharper or misaligned. Many people confuse a worn-down coin with a missing mint mark error, but professionals can tell the difference. Condition matters. Even if you found the right variety, the condition, or grade, of the coin plays a massive role in its value. A scratched or worn coin might still be valuable, but the million-dollar examples are in pristine, high-grade condition. So let's say you've just checked your coin collection and spotted a 1972 half-dollar without a mint mark. What's your next move? Don't clean it. This is important. Cleaning a coin can actually ruin its value. Collectors prefer coins in their natural state. Get it authenticated. Send it to a trusted grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll confirm if it's the real deal and assign it a grade. Contact an auction house. If your coin turns out to be the rare 1972 no-mint mark, an auction house like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers can help you sell it to serious collectors. Even if it's not the million-dollar version, don't be discouraged. Some 1972 half-dollars can still be worth more than face value, especially in mint condition or if they have other small errors. Now, before you put that jar away, let me give you a bonus tip. The 1972 no mint mark isn't the only Kennedy half-dollar worth big money. The 1964 silver. Kennedy halves are always worth more than face value because they contain 90% silver. The 1970D Kennedy half was only released in mint sets and can sell for hundreds. Certain proof coins from San Francisco, especially with errors, are also sought after. So if you've got Kennedy halves lying around, don't dismiss them. They could be hiding real value. So there you have it. The story of the 1972 no mint mark Kennedy half-dollar worth $1.6 million. If you've got old coins, take the time to check them carefully. You never know. The next life-changing discovery could be sitting in your drawer right now. And remember, never clean your coins, always authenticate, and when in doubt, reach out to professionals. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about valuable coins that might be hiding in plain sight, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Did you know that a simple Kennedy half-dollar from 1989 could be worth up to $1.5 million? Yes, you heard that right. What looks like just pocket change might actually be a life-changing treasure hiding in your collection. Today, we're diving deep into the story of the 1989 P-Mint Kennedy half-dollar. Why it's so valuable, what to look for, and how you can tell if you might have one sitting in a jar, drawer, or old coin album at home. The Kennedy half-dollar was first struck in 1964, shortly after President John F. Kennedy's assassination, as a tribute to his legacy. Over the years, millions were produced at different mints: Philadelphia, Denver, San Francisco, and sometimes West Point. Now, by 1989, most people thought half-dollars weren't worth much. They weren't used in everyday change very often, and most ended up in collections or casino rolls. Not all coins are created equal. Some 1989 Kennedy halves carry mint errors, rare die varieties, or unique characteristics that make them worth not just a few bucks, but hundreds, thousands, and in one extreme case, over $1 million. So why would a 1989 P. Kennedy half-dollar be worth $1.5 million? It comes down to rarity, condition, and mistakes made at the U.S. Mint. Collectors prize coins with errors like double dies, off-center strikes, or missing elements. And when those errors happen on a coin that already has low circulation and is preserved in pristine, almost untouched condition, you've got something special. One legendary example of a 1989 P-Mint Kennedy half reportedly sold for $1.5 million at auction because of its near-perfect grade, unique strike characteristics, and collector demand. While that's an outlier, it proves just how valuable these coins can be. If you're going through your collection, here are the key things you should check on your 1989 Kennedy half-dollar. Look just above the date on the front. If it has a small P, that means it was struck in Philadelphia. Coins are graded on a 1 to 70 scale. A perfect 70 is museum quality. Even one scratch can drop the value drastically. Check for doubled letters in Liberty or In God We Trust, misaligned strikes, or unusual edges. These can skyrocket value. If it has mirror-like surfaces, it might have come from a special minting process, which is more desirable to collectors. Finding just the right combination could mean your coin is worth way more than face value. Now, let's keep it real. Not every 1989 Kennedy half-dollar is worth a fortune. Most circulated examples are worth 50 cents to a few dollars. Uncirculated ones in mint state condition can bring anywhere from $10 to $50. Error coins or high-grade certified examples may jump into the hundreds or even thousands. And then you've got that rare once-in-a-lifetime coin that made it to $1.5 million. So while it's not common, it's always worth checking, because you never know what you might have. If you think you have a valuable 1989 Kennedy half-dollar, here's what you should do. Don't clean it. Cleaning can ruin value instantly. Professional grading companies like PCGS or NGC can certify your coin's authenticity and condition. For rare coins, places like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers can connect you with serious collectors. They're great for quick appraisals, but shop around to make sure you're getting a fair deal. eBay and other sites can give you an idea of what similar coins are selling for. So, could you have $1 million coin hiding in your collection? It's possible. At the very least, that old 1989 Kennedy half dollar might be worth more than you think. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about which coins could put serious cash in your pocket, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss a chance to discover hidden treasures in your change. And remember, the next time you're holding a half dollar, it might just be your ticket to $1.5 million.
Have you ever looked through your old change and wondered if that half dollar sitting in a drawer could be worth a fortune? Well, today we're talking about one of the most surprising modern coins, the 1998 Kennedy half dollar with a Philadelphia Mint mark, and why some collectors believe certain examples could be worth as much as $1.7 million. Now, before you go running to check your piggy bank, let's break down what makes this coin special, how to spot it, and what it's really worth in today's market. The Kennedy half dollar series began in 1964, right after President John F. Kennedy's assassination. It became an instant hit with collectors and the general public. By 1998, most half dollars weren't circulating in everyday change anymore. They were struck mainly for collectors. That year, the Philadelphia Mint, marked by the letter P just above the date, produced millions of Kennedy halves. So, in general, a 1998 P Kennedy half dollar is quite common. You can often find them in coin rolls or old bank sets worth just 50 cents to a few dollars, so why do some headlines and stories claim one could be worth over $1 million? Let's dig into that. In the world of coin collecting, rarity and condition are everything. The Mint made special collector editions with a mirror finish. Special strikes, a double die, wrong planchet, or major striking error could make an ordinary coin skyrocket in value. Now, about that $1.7 million price tag. Realistically, that figure is linked to unique mint errors or heavily hyped collector sales. For example, if a 1998 P was struck on the wrong metal, or graded a perfect MS-70 by a top grading company, it could command an astronomical price at auction. But for most people, their 1998 P half dollar won't reach anywhere near that figure. A regular 1998 P half dollar in circulated condition, 50 cents to $1.50 in uncirculated mint state, maybe $5 to $20. A rare high-grade MS-67 or MS-68, certified by PCGS or NGC, $200 to $500. The special matte finish variety from 1998 S that can reach $300 to $1,000 plus depending on grade. The $1 million figure is usually more of a myth, fueled by online rumors or exaggerated sales claims. That said, rare coins do sell for millions, but they're usually older gold pieces, early American coins, or truly one-of-a-kind mint errors. Look just above the date for the letter P, Philadelphia, D, Denver, or S, San Francisco. Proof or matte coins have a different shine. Double images, missing elements, or unusual weight could be clues. Coins without scratches, wear, or discoloration are worth more. Get it appraised. If you think you've got something special, send it to a grading service like PCGS, NGC, or Annex. Don't just rely on internet rumors. A professional grade can make all the difference. Quick cash, but they pay wholesale. Places like Heritage or Stack's Bowers can bring top dollar for rare pieces. eBay or Etsy can work, but beware of scams. Great for getting offers from multiple dealers at once. Always research your buyer and get multiple opinions before parting with your coin. So, is your 1998 P Kennedy half dollar worth $1.7 million? Probably not. But could it still be worth more than face value? Absolutely, especially if you've got a proof, matte finish, or a rare error coin. Don't overlook your old coins. Even modern ones from the 1990s can hold hidden value if you know what to look for. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about coins that could be worth thousands hiding in your collection, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss an update. Go check your change jars. You never know what treasure might be waiting there.
Imagine finding a coin in your change or tucked away in a jar that could be worth over $1.6 million. Sounds unbelievable, right? Well, today we're talking about one of the most talked about and rare Kennedy half dollars, the 1971 No Mint Mark Kennedy half dollar. If you're between the ages of 30 and 70 and you've held on to old coins, this might be the video that shows you just how valuable they could be. In 1964, just months after President John F. Kennedy's assassination, the U.S. Mint released the Kennedy half dollar. It became one of the most popular commemorative coins in U.S. history. By 1971, big changes came. The Mint stopped striking. Half dollars in 40% silver. Instead, they switched to a copper-nickel clad version. Millions of 1971 Kennedy halves were minted in Philadelphia and Denver, and later San Francisco for collectors. Here's where it gets interesting. Most Philadelphia coins had no mint mark. That's normal. But among the sea of ordinary 1971 half dollars, a few rare varieties and errors slipped through, and collectors are willing to pay staggering amounts for them. So, why is one 1971 Kennedy half dollar valued at over $1.6 million? It comes down to a combination of rarity, condition, and minting errors. Some 1971 halves were mistakenly struck on leftover 40% silver planchets from 1970. Instead of the standard copper-nickel, these coins are heavier, shinier, and test positive for silver content. Others show doubling on the lettering or the date, called double die errors, and in the rarest cases, perfectly preserved, high-grade examples certified by top grading. Companies like PCGS or NGC can sell for jaw-dropping amounts. That's how a coin most people overlook can suddenly skyrocket into the million-dollar category. Now let's talk about what you should look for in your own collection. 71 is key. It's just above the 7 in the date on the coin's front. A Philadelphia coin has no mint mark, Denver coins have a small D, and San Francisco proofs have an S. Regular clad coins weigh about 1134 grams. If your 1971 half dollar is closer to 11.5 to 11.7 grams, you might have a silver error coin. Use a magnifying glass to check for doubling in the lettering Liberty, or the motto, "In God We Trust." Coins in uncirculated or mint state condition are far more valuable than circulated ones. If you suspect you've got one of these rare coins, don't just throw it on eBay or take it to your local pawn shop. Here's what you should do instead. Get it authenticated and graded. Send your coin to PCGS or NGC, the two most trusted grading services in the world. Check recent auction records. Websites like Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers show what similar coins have sold for. Avoid quick cash offers. Some buyers might lowball you. Always compare offers before selling. Consider big auction houses. They can put your coin in front of serious collectors who are willing to pay top dollar. So if you've got a jar of old coins lying around, it might be time to take a closer look. That 1971 Kennedy half dollar with no mint mark could be worth far more than 50 cents. In fact, in the rarest cases, it could change your life with a value of over $1.6 million. Remember, knowledge is power when it comes to coin collecting. Take your time, do your research, and you never know. You might just have a hidden treasure waiting to be discovered. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might have old coins stashed away. Who knows? You could be helping them uncover a fortune.
Did you know that a Kennedy half dollar you might already have in your pocket change from the year 1971 could be worth as much as $1.5 million? That's right. One of America's most common coins hides an incredible secret that could turn ordinary collectors into millionaires. Today, we're diving into the 1971 D. Kennedy half dollar. I'll break down what makes this coin so valuable, how to check if you own one, and what to do if you find it. Stick with me. This is information you don't want to miss. The Kennedy half dollar was first minted in 1964, just months after the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy. It became a symbol of national pride and remembrance. BY 1971. The U.S. Mint in Denver produced over 302 million Kennedy half dollars. Most of them were struck in a copper-nickel blend, not silver. To most collectors, they're worth around 50 cents to a few dollars. But here's where it gets exciting. Hidden among these millions of coins are rare minting errors and unique variations that can skyrocket their value into the hundreds of thousands, and in one extraordinary case, up to $1.5 million. So, what makes a 1971 D. Kennedy half-dollar potentially worth a fortune? A few key things. Some coins accidentally struck on silver planchets instead of the normal copper-nickel ones. These errors are ultra-rare and highly prized. Coins that have been preserved in perfect, almost untouched condition, graded by professional services as MS67 or higher, can bring massive premiums. Collectors hunt for unusual strikes, double dies, or off-center mintings that make a coin one-of-a-kind. A near-perfect 1971 D. Kennedy half-dollar in pristine condition sold for nearly $1.5 million because of its rarity and flawless quality. If it looks silver all the way through, you may have a rare silver planchet error, found just below Kennedy's neck. Use a magnifying glass to see if there are doubling marks on the date, letters, or Kennedy's features. The closer your coin is to perfect, with no scratches or wear, the more valuable it becomes. If your coin looks promising, don't just throw it in a jar. Get it professionally graded by services like PCGS or NGC. That's where real value is confirmed. Most 1971 D. Kennedy half-dollars are worth only 50 cents to $3 today. But rare examples bring thousands at auction. A gem-quality MS67 Plus can sell for $10,000 to $15,000. Error coins struck on silver planchets can reach $20,000 to $30,000. And of course, that one record-breaking, pristine specimen that went for nearly $1.5 million proves that sometimes a humble coin can change someone's life. If you think you have a rare 1971 D. Kennedy half-dollar, here's what to do. Don't clean it. Cleaning coins lowers their value. Get a professional opinion. Submit it to PCGS, NGC, or Annex. Consider auctions. Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers are trusted for rare. Have you ever wondered if the coins sitting in your old change jar could be worth a fortune? Well, today we're talking about one of the most talked about coins on the internet, the 1992 D. Kennedy half-dollar. Some headlines claim this coin could be worth as much as $1.6 million. But is that true? And more importantly, how do you know if the half-dollars you have are valuable? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for in your coins, how much they could really be worth, and the best ways to sell them for top dollar. The Kennedy half-dollar was first minted in 1964, right after the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy. It was a way for the U.S. Mint and the American people to honor his memory. Now, by 1992, the half-dollar wasn't really circulating much anymore. People weren't using them in everyday transactions, so the Mint mostly struck them for collectors. That year, the Denver Mint produced the 1992 D. Kennedy half-dollar, millions of them, in fact. On the surface, this is just another common coin. So why do we see claims of one being worth $1.6 million? The average 1992 D. Kennedy half-dollar you pull from circulation is worth about 50 cents to a few dollars, depending on its condition. So where does this $1 million price tag come from? The answer is errors, rarity, and condition. Sometimes a coin can sell for astronomical prices if it has a unique mint error or if it's a superb proof coin graded at the very highest level by PCGS or NGC. But be careful. Not every coin you find with a 1992 date and AD mint mark is going to make you rich. The $1.6 million figure you see online is almost always exaggerated or taken out of context. Look for off-center strikes, double dies, or missing designs. These mistakes can make a coin extremely valuable. If your coin looks brand new with no scratches or wear, it could be worth more, especially if professionally graded as MS68 or higher. In 1992, the Mint also made proof sets for collectors. These coins have a mirror-like finish and can sell for a premium. Most 1992 D. Kennedy half-dollars are worth 50 cents to $5, but if you've got a rare error or an ultra-high-grade coin, you might be looking at hundreds or even thousands of dollars. A normal 1992 D in circulated condition sells for about $1. A high-grade mint state example might bring $30 to $100, and rare error versions can sell in the hundreds or thousands, depending on how dramatic the error is. But to date, there's no verified sale of a 1992 D. Kennedy half-dollar for $1.6 million. That's mostly internet hype. Quick cash. but they may pay less since they need to resell. A great way to meet multiple buyers and get offers. This is where rare coins often get the highest prices. If you believe your coin is truly rare, sending it to a grading company like PCGS or NGC can make a huge difference in its value. Buyers pay more when they trust the grade and authenticity of a coin. So, is the 1992 D. Kennedy $50 in your pocket change worth $1.6 million? Probably not. But it could still be worth more than face value if it's in the right condition or has a rare error. The bottom line, don't believe every viral headline, but don't ignore your coins either. Some people really do find treasures in their collections. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about which coins could be worth serious money, make sure you hit that subscribe button and tap the bell so you never miss another tip.